Hey, what's up? This is Wrestling Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast for 8/11/2013. A little day late. I was real busy yesterday, so I didn't get to do the show yesterday. So my apologies to the chef and anybody else that was upset because we wasn't on yesterday. Sorry. I had some stuff I had to do, so I'm trying a new aspect ratio on here. I'm hoping I can edit this video, add some stuff to it. So we're going to start off on this show. We usually cover ROH and Raw and whatever headlines comes about through the weekend. ROH has added Vic. Now let's see if I can not murder this guy's name. Tavascalante as a new addition to their announced team. He has worked for Prime Wrestling based in Cleveland and worked for Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore. He is also has a 2-year deal with CBS Cleveland, and he has a weekly talk show. He's a weekly talk show host. So ROH has added a new announcer. Steve Austin talks about ROH. He also talked about Cena and Daniels, kind of talked them up a little bit. But he talked with AfterBuzzTV.com, stating that he liked ROH, but he thinks the guys overworked themselves and used the time fillers too much. He said it kind of doesn't look like the real wrestling that your people are used to, you know, and you know, Steve Austin's still staying up on the trends and watching, you know, what wrestling goes on. Proves he watches pretty much everything. ROH star BJ Whitmire noted on Twitter that he underwent an MRI after suffering a neck injury. He is awaiting results and an update on that. He actually had the results. He did not say what they were. He just said that he did not like them and he was going for a second opinion. So, you know, we don't know if it's something pretty bad or just something he didn't particularly care for and wanted to go for a second opinion. So TNA's August 8 show numbers were 0.96. That's down from the 1.03 from the week before. They averaged 1.179 million viewers that week. So TNA is still getting hit pretty hard by the ratings there. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It's you know, yeah, they're bringing all these MMA fans. All the MMA fans are coming, but you know, the only problem with that TNA is the MMA stars like Rampage Jackson and Tito Ortiz aren't wrestling. They're not in the ring. It's great to have them on TV. It's say, hi, hey, look, there's Rampage Jackson. But if they're not getting in the ring doing anything, the act of them being there is doing nothing but just taking up TV time that could be used on stars that actually do get in the ring and wrestle. You know, and people say, well, what about The Undertaker or what about The Rock? Well, I hate to tell Rampage Jackson and Tito Ortiz, they're not The Undertaker and they're not The Rock. So, you know, if you were The Undertaker and you were The Rock, that would be different. But you're not. You were a UFC champion. You know, not saying you're not a badass. Of course, you can't really say that because Brock Lesnar was a UFC champion too, and a lot of people think he was a paper champion. So, who knows? You know, their ratings have continued to fall and fluctuate. So, you know, we can only hope it's not the death roll. You know, something that just ain't them going down even further. Been a lot of talk about this little Twitter thing between Rebby Sky and Karma. Now, my wife has actually met Karma. Talked to her for a good 30 minutes. My wife's a pretty good judge of character, especially when she's talking to people that, you know, she's having a good conversation with. And they were not talking about wrestling, too. They were talking about, you know, personal stuff. So, Rebby Sky, after Karma labeled Rebby Sky a hoe, you know, I mean, she didn't call her a whore. She called her a hoe, which, you know, to me is kind of like more of a TV insult than, you know, there's a difference. And I think my wife as a woman could agree with me. Being called a whore and being called a hoe is two different things, right? Mm-hmm. So when you get called a hoe, you hear girls all the time. You ain't nothing but a hoe. That's not really an insult. Being called a whore, or as one of Jeff Dunham's characters would say, a whore, anyway, is actually worse than being called a hoe. Well, Rebby Sky, who's never actually been very popular of being a very good person. I mean, well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. She's had some bad issues with the media and things she said in public, and she basically accused Karma of being a drug addict. Now, my wife talked to this woman for over 30 minutes, and I'm a nurse. I've actually, okay, Rebby, when you're going to insult someone or you're going to try to go to a personal level and insult someone, first of all, the best thing to do is make sure they're not bigger than you and can't hurt you. The second thing is actually make sure they fit what you're calling them. Now, if you'd have wanted to call, say she overeats, or, she has a robust appetite, I still don't think that would have been wise because she's bigger than you. But anyway, Karma would have probably agreed with you. She's like me. She's always had problems with her weight. That's different. But calling someone a drug addict who does not look like one makes you look stupid. Okay? And methinks, to put on my Paul Heyman, methinks that you think it's really big deal that you're Matt Hardy's girlfriend and you can just say anything you want. Well, if I was Karma and you called me a drug addict, not only would I sue your ass, but I'd catch you in the ring and beat the living hell out of you. I really would. Yeah. And, being Matt Hardy's girlfriend doesn't mean diddly. Right now, Jeff Hardy's got more game than his brother. And, yeah. So, I just, there's a reason why Matt Hardy's is not in the WWE or TNA. There's a reason why. We don't know. But he's not considered in the mainstream for a reason. Now, there are people in ROH that want to be there. That's why they're in ROH. They don't want to be in WWE either because they want to protect their character, or they want to be able to control their schedule a little more. But there's a reason why Matt Hardy is not in WWE. There's a reason why Matt Hardy is not in TNA. So I'm going to let that sink in and just think about that. Anyway, Sheamus undergoes a surgery. He had shoulder surgery from an injury. And he gives the all okay by his Twitter. We wish him well. I really think it would have been fun to be a nurse. I was a nurse for 12 years on the floor that he had surgery on. I'm pretty sure that would be really fun. Sheamus seems like a really cool guy, funny, and I'm pretty sure that those nurses and doctors on that floor will have lots to talk about. And in the near future, saying, 2 years ago, Sheamus had surgery, was up here, man. We had a ball, and he was cool. I'm pretty sure there'll be pictures floating around people's houses for decades where he got pictures took and stuff like that. So we wish him well. We hope he gets back, and we don't know what Sheamus we're going to see when we come back. Are we going to see a heel Sheamus? Are we going to see someone in between? Or are we going to, is he going to come back? Excuse me. Are we going to see, come back as what he was before he left, which was a face? It's going to be good. I like either one, so it's a win-win. WWE's SmackDown TV contract with Sci-Fi expires next month, so either they're going to re-sign with Sci-Fi, or they're going to find something new. I'm like the guy that gave us the story last week about TNA probably is worried about losing Spike TV. I don't think they're going to have time to set up something with Spike. Then again, it could have been working in the background all this time. Who knows? So we're just going to have to watch and see. WWE did announce that they're going to do a Raw 20th anniversary DVD and Blu-ray set. The name of the set will be WWE Raw 20th Anniversary Celebration, which, you know, for you DVD collectors, one more in the notch in your belt. WWE 2K14 to include a single-player campaign mode that spawns the 30-year history of WrestleMania. It's similar to WWE 13's Attitude Era. It spans the whole, you know, Attitude Era. Well, this one's going to go 30 years, so it's going to be pretty big. One of the pictures they showed was Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant, so you're actually going to maybe get to redo those, you know, and get achievements for the game, you know, to do certain events that take place at the different WrestleManias. So, you know, I think it's going to be cool. I still can't believe there's a lot of people still playing 13. I like creating the characters, but their servers online are just way too messed up. You get kicked out of matches, or, you know, you know. And with games like Call of Duty Ghost coming out, which we just watched the reveal a few minutes ago, it's kick-ass. Just to let you know. Anyway, enough about gaming. This is not that kind of show. But anyway, we're going to move on to ROH TV. All I got to say is one thing about ROH this week. One match was at least 30 minutes. You know, it's only an hour show, so it was a good match. I'll give him that. But okay, we have Michael Bennett and Maria versus Brutal Bob after they basically, you know, abandoned him the last show, and you know, it was a you know, pretty decent match. Bob missed a high risk move, and Bennett hits him with a box office smash, which is actually probably a pretty cool finishing move. Wonder where he got that from. Skull Crushing Finale. Anyway, I've actually, you know, it's not actually the same move, but it kind of, you know, the names are similar. Anyway, Women of Honor, which is the ROH, obviously their women's division. Wow, Bonesaw Brooke versus Mischief. It was a decent match. There's a lot of talk. Should they be basing their women's division off of Mischief? Mischief does get the win, however. A lot of people are saying that she is not a deep enough character to be interesting, and her in-ring ability isn't enough to make up for it. So, you know, I've only watched them a couple of weeks, so, you know, I'm going to save those opinions till later down the road after I see a couple of, you know, maybe 20, 30 matches under their belt. Let's see. And pretty much that was the only two matches besides a six-man tag match with Ciampa, Eglin and Stein versus Whitmire and the American Werewolves. Eglin, Stein, and Ciampa come out on the win. The match was long. It was half the TV time. I think maybe that they kind of pushed it, trying to get everybody involved in the match, and the match kind of suffered. I don't think, you know, I think they should have thrown in another match, and, you know, 20 minutes fine, but 30-minute match, and it's not an Iron Man match. Says hello, by the way. I don't know. When you only have an hour and you're 30, you know, it looks like creative just kind of went, hey, you know, we're just going to do a 30-minute match at the end. We're going to put in a couple of matches before and pretty much take the night off. So, you know, I don't know. That was pretty much ROH. We're going to move on to Raw, which was actually a pretty good show. We had a decent match start off Raw, and with Daniel Bryan, I don't know. It would have been a better one if Maddox hadn't accounted fast. The big question is this referee thing going to be a Maddox gimmick? The answer to that is, God, I hope not. I mean, I don't know. And I'm like most of the people on Twitter during Raw. Maddox does not look like it's just hard to take him seriously. He looks like somebody's kid that wandered out to the ring at the wrong time. I mean, seriously. Orton defeats Sandow. It was a pretty awesome match between the two, with Rhodes' distraction causing Sandow to get the RKO. Boy, they're really building on that Sandow and Cody Rhodes fight at SummerSlam, and we're actually hoping that this means that Cody Rhodes is going to head for some kind of title run, and we're not talking about like the U.S. champion or the IC champion. We're talking about world or heavyweight. I could probably see him as I could see him as the WWE champion first, and then maybe getting the world champion down the road. Because once he gets the WWE champion, he can actually, that'll give him some credit, a little more credit toward a championship run again, and he can go for the world title. I mean, look how long Mark Henry's been around and had never held the WWE championship. So, I mean, we don't want that to happen to everybody. It'd be kind of silly. But Orton hits the RKO for the win. It was a really decent match. Natalya and Khali versus AJ Lee and Big E. And don't forget Hornswoggle was there. I hadn't seen Hornswoggle in a while. I like the guy. He's funny now, especially now that he can talk. And from what I understand, he's actually a real funny guy in real life. A real jokester, and that's not a comment toward his leprechauniness. So I think it's just it was a good match. I still don't know why they keep just ignoring Natalya. I just don't. I mean, I know she don't want to have nothing given on a silver platter, but she deserves some better outcomes than she's been having. So AJ pulls out the win. Big E finds out you don't go picking on Hornswoggle with Khali around, because you turn around and if you've ever seen the Bugs Bunny crossover cartoon with Aladdin, the older one where the guy goes "Kassan chop," I mean, he literally chopped Big E upside the head. I think even Big E was like, "Man, that really hurt," because he looked like he was like. They talk a lot about the Caitlyn Ziggler versus Big E and AJ match at SummerSlam. There's actually got to where there's like 3 matches I'm thinking about. I really want to see. So I still haven't decided if I'm going to get a SummerSlam. I really don't know yet. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I can think about get somebody to share the price, or something. I might, but I don't know. Triple H's pedigree heard around the WWE on Maddox, and he also names himself the special referee, which really ticked off Vince McMahon. And not to mention made me feel pretty good to see Maddox get pedigreed. We paused it for some reason. I actually backed it up and watched it several times. I'm thinking about making a GIF of it, but anyway, it was really funny. I mean, Brad Maddox really sold the move, so it looked pretty good, even though the landing was kind of weird. But Triple H's going to be the special ref at Cena and Bryan at SummerSlam. So next match was Kane defeats Titus O'Neil. The match was, it was a Kane match, which was pretty good, but he's kind of limited by his competition. And he pulled some trickery on the Wyatts. Wyatts kind of try to pull their trickery, and when the lights come up, Kane wasn't in there. He was up the hill going, yeah, I can disappear too, baby. So, I really like this feud. I'm kind of hoping that it continues to go and go and go. For those people that think that they're already tired of the Wyatt things, well, TNA is on every Thursday, so if you don't want to watch the Wyatts, I think it's one of the best storylines and backstories they've had in a while, and they can continue to talk about it. It's a Cape Fear. Cape Fear was one man. He was not a leader of a group of people. Okay, so we're actually thinking about the Devil's Rejects, Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects. It just basically all but sticks out, or some of the true life events that's happened in the last 20 years. There's several of those people you could pick that Bray Wyatt and his family represent. So, quit calling it a Cape Fear thing. It's not. It's more of a Devil's Rejects You know, so let's see, Del Rio minus, because you know he beat up Rodriguez last week. And WWE, if you're listening, it's time for Chimera to make a opening. Time to come. Chimera's Rage needs to come. If you don't know who that is, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, you need to look for Chimera's Rage on YouTube. You'll see who I'm talking about. And if you can't figure out who it is, you shouldn't be watching TV, much less WWE. Anyway, Del Rio defeats Kofi, and it was a so-so match. Kofi's high flying actually made the match a little interesting. We've kind of seen everything from Del Rio before, so it's not nothing. Uso defeats sorry, it's not We the People, it's the Real Americans, which I kind of take offense to that they're calling themselves the Real Americans. It's terrible that that Zeb Coulter actually has a bigger interest in the two wrestlers, which of course everybody knows that's Dutch Mantel. And if you don't, like I said, you don't need to be watching wrestling if you don't know who Dutch Mantel is. Truth versus Fandango equals dance off equals no comment. How many times are we going to do that? Does it happen every time you come up with another wrestler that can dance? Moving right along. I still like the Fandango character a little more, but the dance offs has got to go. It's almost as bad as the 6-man tags. Got to go. Battle Royal for the #1 contender to the U.S. title for Ambrose's U.S. title. Excellent match for a Royal Rumble, especially on live TV, with RVD taking out Ryback for the win. I actually was looking forward to, kind of looking forward to Big Show making his appearance during the Battle Royal. But what happens afterwards, Mark Henry jumps back in the ring, basically shakes RVD's hand and starts to get out. Actually exits the ring, and then the Shield comes down, which Mark Henry comes back in the ring. Well, of course, it's 3-on-2, and they're thinking, well, Shield's thinking, hey, we're going to beat the hell out of these guys again. Until, in the Big Show, let me tell you, the Big Show is stacked. Homeboy's been in the gym. I've seen pictures without that long sleeve shirt he was wearing the other night. Let me tell you, there's a reason why Rollins looked up the thing. Of course, they didn't let you see his full face, and went holy. And then they cut the tent. He went holy shit, because the Big Show is literally buffed. He's got arms. His arms is doubled in size as far as muscle mass. Proud of the Big Show. He come out, and there was actually a sign held up, which they kind of blocked out, but I knew what it said. It said, "Shit just got real." Yeah, it did. Basically, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar comes out. Says that Punk's got to face them both. Punk's music hit, and I already knew that when they started walking toward the exit on that side of the ring. I told Kim, I said, Punk's already behind them. Somewhere. I swear to God, these pollen is killing me, folks. So Punk is already behind him. Sure enough, Punk comes in with a camera and beats the living hell out of Lesnar, puts him out, goes after Heyman. Axel comes down thinking he's going to stop. No. He puts him down with the go to sleep, and you have Lesnar looking up all beat up and dejected. Heyman's running for the car, and CM Punk lets him know that I am the best in the world. So it was actually a good match. It had some good surprises, with Punk actually, coming out on top for a change. I'm actually like somebody else. I hope that doesn't mean that Sunday he's going to lose, because usually when you go out on top, there's a 90% chance that you're going to lose. But especially on the Raw before the pay-per-view. So we'll just have to see. All right, moving on to some sponsor stuff. Zach Pack Promotions, that's at ZPack Promotions on Twitter, Zach Pack Promotions on Facebook, or www.zachpackpromotions.com. And if you're interested in that, you can go to that website and see their Busting for Autism. Movie is November the 16th and the 17th. You can actually have dinner with, now Gold Dust is, Dustin Rhodes is already full up, but everybody else has got several places. You can actually pay a certain amount and actually sit down and eat lunch with these stars. You got people from reality TV, you got people from wrestling. You know, I myself think it would be really cool to, you know, sit down with any of the wrestlers except for maybe Honky Tonk Man. But, you know, I think it would be good. And Zach Pack is also taking on Gold Dust, taking care of business tour for 2014. You can contact them at their Gmail. That's ZachPackPromotions@gmail.com. Hey, Seth says hello again. Anyway, Fighting Disability Slurs, the webpage is back up. That's Fighting Disability Slurs at WordPress.com. We actually realized that page was actually not down. So she's going to be putting some stuff on there pretty soon. Right now she's working for Busting for Autism. She's doing some crocheted hats that they're going to be giving away and selling and stuff at the thing. So kind of back her up. You can also find her on Fight Disability Slurs on Facebook as well. Throttle, the song that you heard when we first started the show, is our theme song. It's New Blood by Throttle. That's THRODL. You can find them on all those songs, a single, including New Blood, and all of their albums are on iTunes now. They do have a new show coming out, a new album and stuff like that. It's called Razor Wire Finish Line, and it's going to be coming out. We are going to be doing some stuff with them as soon as it comes out, so keep out. And also I want to send out another shout out to some friends of ours. Blast 52 is a band from Ireland. You can follow them on Twitter at Blast 52, and you can follow their drummer at Blast 52 Drummer. You can listen to their stuff on YouTube as well. You can actually search Blast 52 on YouTube and find their stuff. They've got some of their singles. They have a new EP coming out. Right now, as far as we know, it's just going to be on iTunes, but I will let you know if it's going to be on tape. That's the show for this week. I hate it was a day late, but you know, stuff like that happens when you're recording a show. If you're not home, it's kind of hard to record from the we're gonna let Throttle take us out. I appreciate you. We'll be back Saturday where we'll cover SmackDown and TNA, and also cover headlines and any indie news that we get. So we're gonna let here comes Throttle with New Blood.
Say what? What the face to the very front of the